Burj Khalifa's construction work was going on. The whole structure was in a mess. Now it was time to install a window panel on it. The engineers thought that there is no rocket science in installing a window panel. They did not pay attention to it, but then what happened next? Dubai scorching heat, and on top of that, the window panels that were to be installed on the tallest building in the world. The temperature inside the Burj Khalifa reached 100 degrees centigrade during the day. It was not possible for a person to enter the building at such a high temperature in any way. This was the biggest problem that arose during the construction of Burj Khalifa, which put the entire construction team in trouble. Due to this problem, the work of Burj Khalifa's interior design had to be stopped. The construction work was on halt for 18 months, but then something happened that woke up the dreams of the management and engineers. The Burj Khalifa of Dubai is the tallest building in the world. The cost of this building, which is 2,716 feet high, was $1.5 billion, 114 billion rupees. Not just so much money, but this building is considered a great achievement in the history of engineering. You'll be able to know how these great achievements were completed by engineers, architects, and workers, what difficulties they had to face, and how the solution to those difficulties. 1. The first challenge in building Burj Khalifa was to be on construction time. Engineers were given only 6 years to build this building, in which they had to complete all this work. Out of these 6 years, only 3 years were required to design the building. If 3 years were spent in designing, then it was not possible to make the physical structure of the building in the remaining 3 years. Therefore, the engineers decided to start the construction of Burj Khalifa without design. This is why the excavation work started in February 2004, but the design work also continued. 2. When it was time to lay the foundation of Burj Khalifa, another problem arose. Usually, the foundation of tall buildings is laid on the large stones present in the ground. But the place where Burj Khalifa was to be built, there were either sandstone or small weak stones below it. So the question was raised that will the tallest building in the world be built on the basis of these weak stones? Will these weak stones really be able to lift so much weight? To deal with this challenge, a basic principle of science was used, and that was friction. Yes, the foundation of Burj Khalifa was built on 192 solid steel piles, which are buried 50 meters underground. The weight of the entire Burj Khalifa was to be equally distributed on 192 steel piles, not just 1 or 2. 3. For the design of Burj Khalifa, the construction company Emaar contacted the top-level architecture firm in Chicago. This architecture firm had designed the structure of many tall buildings in the past, but they also got lost in designing the structure of the tallest building in the world. Their challenge was to design a structure that would lift the weight of hundreds of thousands of tons of concrete and iron, whose floors would be illuminated by natural light, and that building would also be 160 stories tall. The firm worked day and night to find a solution to this unique problem, and that was the buttress structure, which was first introduced to the world in Burj Khalifa. For, on the other hand, the construction team kept building floors one after the other, but as soon as they went up a little, they had to face another difficulty. The difficulty was that the concrete mixture that they prepared and sent up, it dried up as soon as it went up. There was only one solution to this challenge, and that was the concrete suction system. That is, thick pipes were installed from the bottom to the top of Burj Khalifa. Through these pipes, the concrete had to reach the floors above. This was not a small concrete. The total weight of the concrete applied in Burj Khalifa is equal to the weight of 100,000 elephants. Therefore, to pump so much concrete, the world's 3 most powerful pumps were ordered, which completed this task. 3 years had passed since the construction work. 140 floors of Burj Khalifa had been built, and the building broke the world's highest building record on the 140th floor. But the cranes they had to take the material to the top could only take the material to the 120th floor. It was not just about cranes. The crane operators who handled the crane, they refused to work at a higher altitude. For this, the HR firm hired different crane operators from all over the world and brought them to Dubai. These crane operators spoke different languages, but one thing was common in all of them. That is, they were not afraid of heights. At an altitude of 700 meters, this crane operator spent 12 hours of his day on duty. It was famous that he also slept in the crane cabin. 6. Only 2 years were left in the Burj Khalifa launch. The structure of all the floors of the building had been built, but one thing was not visible anywhere, and that was the glass panels. A total of 24,000 glass panels had to be installed on Burj Khalifa. When it was time to install the glass panels, the temperature inside the building reached up to 100 degrees centigrade due to the harsh heat and altitude of Dubai. By installing these glass panels, 10 times more electricity was used to cool the building. 18 months passed in the solution of this problem, but finally, the famous engineer John Zarafa said that he had a solution to this problem. But that solution would be very expensive. John's proposal was accepted because there was no other option. John made a special type of glass that reflected the UV rays coming out of the sunlight, but the price of this one glass panel was $2,000 and 24,000 such panels had to be made. This amount amounted to a total of $3.6 billion, for which a whole factory was built, in which only these glass panels were manufactured. And in just 4 months, these aluminum glass panels were ready. In the last year of construction, Burj Khalifa was ready to launch. All the work of gas, water, and electricity had been done, but still something was incomplete. The ending of Burj Khalifa's top floor was incomplete. A solid steel pipe was to be installed on it, which was 136 meters long and weighed 350 tons. There was no crane in the world that could lift such a heavy steel and place it on top of Burj Khalifa from the clouds. But at any cost, this work was necessary because now it was time for Burj Khalifa to launch. Finally, the engineers decided that this 136-meter-long rod should be made inside Burj Khalifa. Therefore, this rod was taken up in small parts and reassembled on the top of Burj Khalifa. Now, Burj Khalifa was completely complete, but due to years of dust, soil, and construction waste, the entire Burj Khalifa was filled with soil. Now the task was to polish it well from the outside. There was no other solution for this, but the workers were hung from the ropes, and a total of 24,000 window panels of Burj Khalifa were polished from the outside. This window cleaning work is still done with the help of workers. Now you will know a few facts about the world's tallest building, Burj Khalifa. A total of 12,000 workers worked at the same time in the construction of Burj Khalifa. The height of Burj Khalifa is equal to 3 Eiffel Towers. A total of 24,000 glass panels are installed in Burj Khalifa, the total weight of which is equal to the weight of 35 A380 aircraft. The world's tallest restaurant is present in Burj Khalifa. The elevators installed in Burj Khalifa are called the fastest walking lifts in the world. The terraces of Burj Khalifa are automatically closed to the public during strong winds, because the wind can be as strong as a Category 1 hurricane on the upper floors. Burj Khalifa's peak can also be seen from a distance of 100 kilometers. The place where the Burj is present now used to be the military headquarters. Burj Khalifa is the only place where you can see the sunset twice a day. Friends, if you like the video, don't forget to like it. To watch more such interesting videos, subscribe to this channel and also press the bell icon so that you get all the notifications of the latest updates of this channel. Take good care of yourself.